Welcome to the EmpowerElle Podcast. I'm your host, Vero, and I'm so excited to have you join me on this journey of empowerment and growth. This podcast is designed for ambitious, high-achieving women who are ready to break free from overwhelm and step into their power. Together, we'll explore practical strategies, share inspiring stories, and hear from experts who can help you navigate the challenges of balancing ambition and well-being. Whether you're looking to cultivate confidence, transform your mindset, enhance your leadership skills, or find harmony in your life, this is the place for you. Let's dive in. And welcome to the EmpowerElle Podcast. I'm so glad that you're here to learn about something that could shift the way that you lead and live. Today's conversation is all about how to build a simple and effective daily planning routine. One that helps you feel clear, focused, and in control of your time, but without adding more pressure or overwhelm. If you've ever started your day already feeling behind, or if your to-do list feels endless and unrealistic, or if you go to bed wondering where the day went, even though you were busy the entire time, then this episode is for you. We live in a world that encourages us to do more, faster, and all at once. And when it comes to planning, that often looks like overstuffed schedules, unrealistic expectations, and routines that work for a few days but then fall apart. But the truth is, effective planning is not about controlling every minute of your day. It's about creating clarity, protecting your energy, and leading yourself with intention. So today we're going to break down what actually matters. I'm going to walk you through a simple, realistic daily planning routine that supports your goals, honors your energy, and helps you move through your days feeling grounded instead of scattered. So let's take a deep breath and let's dive in. Let's start with a little bit of honesty. When you hear the words daily planning routine, what comes up for you? I know I love planning, but not everyone's the same way. Maybe you picture a color-coded planner and 17 tabs open, or alarms going off every 15 minutes, and a routine that looks great on Instagram, but just completely falls apart in real life. Or maybe you've tried planning your days before, and it felt like just another thing on your to-do list that you just couldn't keep up with. Well, if that's you, I want you to know this right away before we get into it. You're not bad at planning. You're not undisciplined. And you don't lack willpower. Most women that I work with don't struggle because they don't plan. They struggle because they're trying to plan everything for everyone all at once, with no room for being human. So today, I want to strip this all the way back, because the goal of daily planning is not to control your day. The goal is to support you, to help you feel at peace instead of scattered, intentional instead of reactive, and focused instead of overwhelmed. And that's what we're building today. A simple and effective daily planning routine that actually works in real life. But before I give you the routine, we need to talk about what not to do. The biggest mistake that I see is this. It's women plan their days based on pressure, not on priorities. Certainly not on their priorities. So they open their planner and they immediately ask, what do I have to do? What's urgent? What's going to upset someone if I don't do it? And then suddenly, the day is already running you. Your energy isn't considered, your values aren't considered, and your capacity isn't considered. And then we wonder why we end the day exhausted, behind, and frustrated, even when we got a lot done. So instead of planning from pressure, we're going to plan from intention. And this starts with one mindset shift that changes everything. So I want you to hear this very clearly. Daily planning is an act of self-leadership. It's not about being rigid. It's not about doing more. It's about deciding with purpose how you want to show up. When you plan your day intentionally, you're saying, this matters. I matter. My time and energy are valuable. And that's powerful. So if you've been approaching planning as a chore, I want you to reframe it as a daily check-in with yourself. Okay, let's get into the actual routine. So the routine has 5 steps. That's it. No fancy tools required, no perfection required, just consistency. And you can do this in 10 to 15 minutes a day. And if that sounds like a lot, then wake up 15 minutes earlier. You can make the time for this. You just have to decide to do it. Okay, let's start with step 1. Start with a reset. This might take 2 to 3 minutes. Before you plan anything, you need to clear your head. Because planning from a cluttered mind is going to lead to cluttered days. So here's what I want you to do. Grab a piece of paper, not your planner yet, and do a quick brain dump. Write down everything you're thinking about, everything that feels unfinished, and everything that you're worried you might forget. No organizing, no judging, just get it out on paper. This step alone can feel like a really deep exhale. And once it's out of your head, you can actually make intentional decisions instead of reacting to all the mental noise that's stuck in there. Step 2 is reconnecting to your bigger picture. Now, before we jump into tasks, I want you to zoom out and ask yourself, what season am I in right now? What actually matters most today? Now, this might be being present with your family, making progress on an important work project, protecting your energy, or giving yourself space to breathe. This step is what keeps your planning aligned and not just productive. Because you're not planning just to be busy. You're planning to be intentional, to have the right things in your plan. Now, step 3 is choosing your top 3 priorities. And this is where simplicity really matters. Because I want you to choose 3 priorities for the day. Not 10, not everything that's on your list. 3. These are the things that if you complete, you'll feel grounded, accomplished, and at peace with your day. And here's an important distinction. Priorities are outcomes. They're not tasks. So instead of answer emails, try create clarity in my inbox. And instead of work on presentation, try move the presentation forward meaningfully. Now, this subtle shift keeps you focused on what actually matters. It's not just checking the boxes, because we all love to put things on our plan just to check off the box. Step 4, and I think the most important in my opinion, is to match your tasks to your energy. Now, this is the step that most planning routines just completely ignore. And it's why they don't stick. Your energy is not unlimited. So instead of asking, when do I have time? Ask, when do I have the right energy? And think about your days in terms of high energy, medium energy, and low energy. And think about your tasks the same way. So high energy tasks might be creative work, or decision making, or deep focus. And low energy tasks might be admin, emails, tidying up, or some simple follow-ups. Now, when you match the right task to the right energy, trust me, everything feels so much easier, because you're working with yourself instead of against yourself. And step 5 is to leave some white space. And this is non-negotiable. It might be the most important step of all. 4 and 5, I guess. Because your day needs space. Space for the unexpected, space for transitions, for breaks, and just for being human. If your day is planned down to the minute, it's not a plan, it's a setup for failure. So leave buffer time, leave breathing room, leave margin. This is how your planning becomes sustainable instead of stressful. Now let's talk about when to do this. You have 2 great options. Option 1 is the night before. And this helps you mentally close the day. It helps to reduce morning stress. And it helps you to wake up with clarity. It is my personal favorite. And option 2 is first thing in the morning. This works well if your days vary a lot, if your energy shifts, or if you want to check in with how you're actually feeling. There's no right answer, just choose what feels supportive. The key is consistency, not perfection. Now, before we go any further, I want to talk about the women out there who might not have full control of their day. So if you work a 9-to-5 job, then you have to go to your job between 9 to 5. And so you don't have full flexibility of what you do during those hours. However, you can decide what you do before and what you do after. And those times really, really matter in order to set you up for a successful and stress-free day. But I also want you to really look at your work. You might have more flexibility within that 9-to-5 job than you think. Yes, I'm sure there are certain tasks that need to be done maybe every day or on specific days of the month. But there probably is some room there for you to play with when you want to do certain tasks. So now let's talk about what to do when the day doesn't go as planned. Because let's be real, some days will go completely sideways. And when that happens, I want you to remember this. Your plan is a guide. It's not a rule book. So if something doesn't get done, you didn't fail. You didn't fall behind. You just gathered information. And at the end of the day, you can ask yourself what worked, what felt heavy, and what do I want to adjust tomorrow? That is leadership. That is self-trust. And that is growth. I personally sit down every Saturday or Sunday to plan out my whole week. But every night, I go through this routine to see what I have coming up the next day, what I did during that day. Like I said, what worked, what didn't, what do I want to adjust? So even if my week is already planned, I still sit down with myself and go through this reflection to see if anything needs to change. And this routine works because it's simple, it's flexible, it honors your energy, which is so huge. And it keeps you aligned with what matters. But most importantly, it puts you back in the driver's seat of your day. You're not reacting to everyone else's needs. You're choosing. So I want to leave you with this. You don't need a perfect planner, even if they're pretty. You don't need more discipline. And you don't need to overhaul your entire life. You just need a way to meet yourself where you are every single day. And this routine is a powerful place to start. So if this episode resonated with you, I would love for you to take a moment to subscribe, leave a review, or share it with a woman who needs to hear this message today. And tag me on Instagram at EmpowerElle. I would love to hear how you are implementing this plan in your life and how it is changing how you go through every single day. And remember, keep choosing yourself, your vision, and your values. That is real power. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you for tuning into the EmpowerElle podcast. I hope today's episode inspired you and gave you practical insights to help you navigate your journey as an ambitious, high-achieving woman. Remember, every step you take towards building your confidence and embracing your full potential is a step closer to creating the life you truly desire. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and review the podcast on your favorite platform. Your support helps us reach more women who are ready to step into their power and live their best lives. Don't forget to join our community on social media for more resources, tips, and inspiration. Until next time, lead with power and live with wellness. You are unstoppable.